Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. I have not been on film in a while. I've been enjoying staying in my pajamas, and you can tell by my hair that I pretty much just got up. So, we're going to talk about something serious today and something I have gone through, so maybe I can help some other people get through this. And a lot of you have already been through this in 2020, so you may even know how to answer these questions. But I'm going to put this up anyway. I'm going off the screen because that's what I do. All right, so we're going to talk about dealing with layoffs and or getting fired. I've had both these things happen in life, and it's definitely not fun. All right, first thing you need to do is you need to develop a plan. This is going to be it may become a shock when this first happens because when I got fired like 20 some years ago, uh, it was kind of a shock. But luckily, my personality is not the type that lays down quickly. So I don't know what kind of personality you have. If you're one who gets depressed, lays down, or you just keep moving. I don't know what your recovery status is. But the first thing you need to do is try not to get depressed, even though you might get depressed, but the goal is try not to get depressed. And here's some steps to help you with that. Um, Now, if you're expecting this layoff, then you should have already been doing some of these steps ahead of time. The first thing to do is know that this is going to hurt. It might be a shock, and it's not your fault. So those things you need to keep in your head. And if you have a partner, which I never had a partner, and I can tell you as a single person that it's a little more terrifying unless you're living at home. Now, if you're living at home, when I got fired, I still had a safety net, and I was living at home, so it wasn't as extreme because I could just go around the corner to a retail shop and get a $10 to $12 an hour job, and still survive. But I've also been laid off when I was on my own and had no safety net. So I've been in both situations. And of course, if you have a safety net, which could be your partner living at home, or have a roommate that's covering you, then that definitely will be not as terrifying. So some of the first steps you need to do is you need to see if you can get unemployment. You may or may not be able to, but you need to try. You need to go and fill out the application, go to the library if you don't have internet service, and fill out an unemployment claim, see if you can get some money. You need to trim down your budget, which means you need to get rid of all the extras in our lives that we take for granted. If you're on some kind of meal plan, you need to shut off the meal plan for a while. You need to shut off all the extra internet cable services because you're not going to have time to be watching cable. You're going to be needing to fill out job applications. So you will need the internet, but you don't need Hulu and Netflix, Paramount, Stars, HBO, all of them. You won't be needing them because you're not going to have time for them. You need to update your resume. I don't think I need to go into that. That's kind of obvious. You need to pursue some new training and learning opportunities, which will cost some money. So you need to be careful about doing this. You don't need to be going crazy. They have a lot of YouTube videos. You can learn things online for free. Sometimes they'll even give you a certificate if you do it online. I know Simply Learn is one of them that's pretty awesome. I have training videos on my channel as well. However, you're not going to get a certificate watching mine online, but it may help you. It may help you when you're learning the language of something and you're doing an interview. That it will also, my videos will also help you if you're going for a certification. So there are some other things. There's YouTube videos. There's other platforms that have free classes. If you can take them for free, take them for free first. Don't be spending thousands of dollars when you're trying to, You need to keep your budget under control. And all of these things are the same things you should follow to get back on track if it happens suddenly or even if you're preparing for it. You need to get your emotions in check. You're going to be freaking out. You're going to be terrified. You're either going to be terrified, angry, or that might be the only two you have. Anger because they let you go. You don't have time for anger right now, okay? You can do it another time. Right now, you need to get moving and get somewhere else. These people don't care if you're angry, okay? They don't care if you're angry. They could care less. So sitting there being angry and doing whatever you think you need to do, don't waste your time. Get on the move and get another job. You can do, if you have a car, you can do a lot. And I talk about this in a lot of my videos on my channel. All the things you can do on the side to make extra money. Now, mind you, I've been fired from half of these little apps, and a lot of them for no reason. And it's almost impossible to fight with them. Okay, they're big companies unless you have a really good lawyer, and they do have some lawyers that specialize in these little side job now that are so popular, and there's a lot of them. There's like Instacart, DoorDash, all these things you can do to get yourself back on track that you can do. I talk about a lot of them on my channel, so you can just type in Instacart. You can talk about DoorDash, Uber Eats, Lyft, all of these things. If you got a car, you can do it. You can survive while you're in transition. And that's what we call it. We call it transition. Next thing you want to know is that you don't want to burn any bridges because you might need their reference. And it is going to be challenging. It is definitely a test not to go and talk bad about them because you're pissed off. So just don't do it. Just remember you may need these people for a reference, so don't do it. Just remember this is a test. This is only a test, and you're going to pass it. You're not going to say anything bad about them. You're going to keep moving on and, not ruining your career even further, okay? All right, so if you need somebody to talk to about your frustration, disorientation, your worry, you can always talk to me. I might even give you for 10 minutes for free. Just email me. learnthegamecoach.com or learnthegamecoach@gmail.com. If you need me to talk to, no problem. All right, get your support network. If you have a support network, I personally don't have a big support network, but if you have family and friends that will give you support, that would be even better because your emotions will be overwhelming. You will be freaking out and especially if you don't have a support system or a partner, you may be freaking out. If you're on your own and you don't have a partner or support system, I definitely can feel the stress level going up. Your stress level will go up. You might not be able to sleep. The anxiety is going to kick in, but just remember what I told you. If you have a car, you can do a lot. You can survive during this transit. Now, if you don't have a car and you have a bicycle, you can still make some cash, okay? All right, the best thing to do is not to freak out, is just to get your emotions under check. It's going to be okay, and to go and get some unemployment as soon as possible. Now, if you're still living at home, then you got a little bit of time and a little bit of leeway because you will have a roof over your head. So the stress level won't be as bad, but you still need to do all the things I'm telling you to do so that the unemployment will give you a little bit of time and a little bit of stress relief while you're in transition trying to find your next career path. So when you get laid off, you might receive a severance package with a lump sum payout to help you, or the unemployment, whichever. If they give you a lump sum payment, you might not be able to get unemployment. Your first step should always be able to understand what you have to work with financially. It's going to change. So as far as health benefits go, you might want to find out what COBRA pays for a health insurance plan because they usually have something. Now, you just got to remember that nowadays with the taxes, they will charge you a fee if you don't have any health insurance. So you want to try and go to COBRA, which I think is like a free thing. free health insurance for those who got laid off or unemployed. They may charge a little bit, but if you don't have a job, I don't think they will. But you'll have to check that out. You don't know how long your job search is going to take. Now, if you're just going for a McDonald's or a retail shop, which pays 12 to 15 an hour, then you should be able to get something pretty quick. Amazon will pay, $17, $18 an hour, but just remember that this is going to take away from your job search. So if this is something you need right away, then that would work, okay? Helping you out financially, that's another option to do. And you don't necessarily need a car to work at Amazon. You can Uber over there, but that's more expense. So you got to take all these things into consideration. I think Walmart pays a little better now. They're trying to keep up with Amazon and not let everybody go to Amazon. But Amazon has a lot of flexibility in their jobs too. And I even talked about that in some of my videos. Amazon Flex, check it out. It talks about flexibility in the Amazon jobs. I've worked there for 15 months. And if you can handle the discipline of that, that's definitely an option. It is not an easy job, just going to tell you right up. But if you're in transition, it'll keep some money coming in while you are trying to find something better. You want to evaluate where you want to go. This is a good chance to look at where you want to go. Meantime, this may take a while for you to switch. For example, in the government, which I talk about, I talk about getting a government job on in a lot of my videos. Sometimes this can take up to 6 months to a year because it's just very time consuming. If you go and you try to get an entry level job, you can get in a little quicker, but they still have to do background checks and things on you that take time. So meanwhile, you need to be making money while you're waiting because you don't want to be going over 6 months looking for a job. Now, unemployment usually runs anywhere from 6 months to 8 months, but you still need to show that you are looking for a job while you're getting unemployment. They will ask you that. I have gone to the unemployment thing for 6 months, so I know what it is. Every week or every 2 weeks, they'll ask you if you are looking for a job, and you say you need to be looking for a job. You don't want to get unemployment forever, and meanwhile, you can't get unemployment forever. So these are things you need to go. You need to decide where you want to go, what you need to do. There are tests, and if you need help finding one to figure out what you want to do, let me know. I can help you out with that. You need to find out what your skills, your talents are, what you like doing. Do you like sitting at a computer all day? Are you more introverted than extroverted? What are your skills and talents? If you're young enough, you can go in the military. That could be another option, and they give you a free education when you get out. Just do your 4 years, get out, get a free degree. By then, you should know what you want to do anyway after 4 years in the military. All right, so fill the gap. There is a fear, unless you're living at home, like I said, or have a partner, there is going to be a fear because you're not going to have the same amount of money coming in. It's like, oh my God. Harder is for you to get hired. Don't avoid the temptation to apply for anything and everything. You're going to waste your time and you're not going to manage. So like I told you before, freelance is good. Freelance is like the Instacart, Uber, Lyft. Christ, there's so many out here now. I put a lot of them on my channel. I'm doing about 6 or 7 now. There's some I've gotten fired from. Speaking of getting fired, so DoorDash fired me, Instacart fired me, Uber Eats fired me. So I know about getting fired, but I still have Grubhub, Shipt is another one, Point Pickup. I think there's one that Walmart is trying to use, Spark, but sometimes it's coming out, sometimes it ain't. Well, we got Roadie and we got Dispatch. There are a couple other ones, but there is a lot of them out there, and there's more coming every day. There's Vihu, which did not work for me. I thought that was a joke. But there's a lot of these freelance jobs out here. Um, I just want to tell you right up front, I've been doing YouTube for about a year now. I made about $100. Okay, so the YouTube thing, it takes a good over 5 years to start making money, and that's based upon your views and your subscribers. So even if you got a lot of subscribers, you need to get a lot of views on these videos, and I'm talking 10K plus. If you're doing 10K plus on a video, that's about $30. Okay, so you cannot rely on that, and making these videos is very time consuming. So that's not something I would recommend. You want to make your money quick. You don't want to sit here when you need to be filling out resumes and making YouTube videos thinking you're going to become some kind of star, because it's not realistic. Another thing is interning and volunteering. Now, if you're living at home and you're still pretty young and you're not on your own and paying a lot of bills and you have a home mortgage, that could be a thing. Most of us cannot afford to do that for free. We have responsibilities. All right, track your progress. You need to keep track and keep organized and keep your goals in front of you. You need to have a vision board or put something on the wall that helps you stay motivated, whatever that motivation is. Personally, I use Joel Osteen a lot, but you don't need to use him. There are other people that have it. I have a vision board, and I put my little goals and dreams and prayers on that vision board, and some of them have actually came true. So that could be one suggestion, but you need to organize your goals. If you have Excel spreadsheet, that might work. This place that I use, and I fill out job applications, they actually have it online, everything I apply for, and I can see what's going on. I can see when the job closed, if they're looking at my resume, if somebody else got the job. It tells you the progress online. So if you can do something like that, that would be even better. Now, I do a lot of videos on this channel about where to look for jobs, how to, the different places you can go and how to do it, and all that kind of stuff. So if that is something you need, if you got time, I try to keep my videos 10 minutes or smaller, except for this one's already at 17, but most of the time they're under 20 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. You can afford that every day. But spending hours and hours on social media, you don't want to be doing that because you're not going to have time. So they also have job placement agencies. You can go and set up accounts, job search website. You probably can do all these online even now. However you track your progress, you need to make sure that you write down the interviews you had, reminders after about a week to send out follow-ups, thank you things, and all that. Put down the company names, the contact information. You could even keep it in your email, the names of where you applied and the contact names. That's another thing that I do, because they usually send me an email that they want to set up an interview, so I'll just keep this in a job folder. So those are some of the things that you can do to keep track of your progress. All right. All right, all that was crap because I forgot to delete it in my when I made this presentation. Okay, so you need to set daily, weekly, and monthly goals to keep you on track so you don't fall off and start doing social media for hours and hours and hours. Because we all can get into that trap if you're not careful. Clean up your social media. Set SMART goals for your 30, 60, and 90-day game plan. And hopefully within 30 days, you might be able to get a good job. You need to make sure the first thing you need to do within the first week or two is make sure you get your resume updated. Hopefully the first week, okay? LinkedIn can come in a couple of weeks or so because I do get offers on LinkedIn, but none of them are that serious. And most employers will go to LinkedIn now and look at your profile. Um, Training and certifications, I would definitely work on this. That's not the top priority, but that would be after 30 days. You definitely want to look into getting some certifications. And like I told you, YouTube sometimes has them for free. So you want to try and get as much as you can for free before you start spending thousands of dollars that you do not have. Your short-term weekly goals are to apply for five jobs each day, because it will get boring. Let me tell you that I have been looking for a promotion for over 6 years. So, and I have about 60 interviews that I have had, and I have filled out over 2,000 job applications. So that just gives you an idea that you will get bored, you will get burnt out, you will get tired. Um, and this is like a part-time job for me, almost, and that's the way you got to look at it. You got to look at it as a job. Um, it's a sacrifice. You might have to give up dating until you get this job, because this is going to be time consuming. It's going to be time consuming. It's going to be a lot of rejection. And you could go into a depression real quick if you're not careful. You need to find one in person networking event to attend. That's another good idea. Now in 2020 they didn't have all these networking events, but they're getting them again. And if you can get them for free, that would be better. But that would also be an awesome way, especially if something that interests you. Some of them you got to be careful because they're going to be trying to sell you stuff, so you don't want to do that. But it would be a good way to meet new people and keep from getting depressed, and it will help keep you motivated, because you don't want to sit in the house and do everything online. For most people, you're going to fall into a depression if you do that. Most extroverts will need to go socialize, and this would be a great way to socialize and help you maybe get a future job at the same time. If you can do volunteer opportunities to help you stay active, that would be another way. But my suggestion is the networking events would be an awesome way to do both at the same time. Stay active, stay social, keep from falling into a depression. And you never know, you might meet somebody that helps you get a good job. And like I just said, finding a job your main job. This is going to be your thing. Whatever else you got going on, you need to put it on hold. If you're in the dating scene and you're dating 2 to 3 times a week, you need to put that on hold, because that is not going to be your priority. You need to devote a certain part of each day to job search. And another thing you could do is get out of the house sometimes, go to the coffee shop, the library, change your scenery, just like I said before with the networking. That will keep you from falling into a depression. All right, so you also need to go for walks if you can. Like around here right now, I'm filming this in December, right around Christmas, and we got some big winter Arctic thing going on, and we can't go outside and walk because it's like 10 degrees. So that's not going to work. But if you can do that, if you're in a place where you can go take walks every day, that would definitely help you with your stress right now. All right, so you need to address what happened. And what I mean is, did you get fired? Did you get laid off? You just need to tell people the truth. It happens to all of us at one point or two in our lives. Not the end of the world. We're not surprised by it. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that this is what's going on. It could be the company's going through a transition and you're just the one that they're going to get rid of. This is not a reflection on you at all. So you need to just come clean and say what's going on. All right. So you need to explain in your cover letter, if you got a cover letter, or, if you don't have a cover letter, you might want to get one. But if you don't, then you can do this in the interview. You just want to say that the company is downsizing, they're transitioning, they're restructuring, they had an acquisition or a merger. These are all good things to put in there that won't make yourself look bad. Get all your references together, as I stated near the beginning of this video, that you do not want to burn bridges. It's going to be very tempting. Whatever the situation is, if you got fired um, for whatever reason, you don't want to burn any bridges. You don't want to go and try and get a gun and go shoot somebody up. You want to get your emotions in check. They don't give a shit about you. So just remember that. They do not care about you. Okay? You need to move on and get your life together. Your life is going to go on and their life is going to go on, and they do not care that you don't have a job. Just being upfront about it. That's the way it is. You need unless it's a small family company, they do not give a shit. And some of them don't care either. So you need to just move on, get your emotions in check, get your family together, and do not worry about your pride. We all get rejected. We all go through this shit in life, and it's just a test you got to pass. We're not going to get angry. We're not going to take revenge because we need to, we don't want to burn any bridges. And it has happened to me as well. And I do get angry, but I get my emotions in check, and I do not go ballistic on people. I don't go off on people, even though I would like to. Mainly because I just go to God, quite honestly, and ask Him to help me not to go off on these arrogant, egotistical managers. Career gaps. Okay, you need to adjust your response about why you're not working. You can say you were in school, you were training for your next job. All these things, you need to reflect about what's important in your next position. Now, if you're doing the same kind of work and you're going for a job for the same kind of work, you could just say, I'm working on getting another certification. I'm going back to school. We had a death in the family and I had to take off. And, if it's a medical thing, just explain it, Most people are going to have some empathy. If they don't have empathy, then you really don't want to work for this company anyway, because then you're probably going to end up getting fired again and they won't care. Just look at this as a way of getting a new opportunity. And this is very hard, by the way. It's easier said than done. People tell me this shit all the time. This is a new opportunity. Oh, yay. Okay. Meanwhile, my whole career is just like going down the tube because I'm in technology. And if you're away from technology for a certain amount of time, then your career is pretty much going down unless you keep up with these certifications. And then they're like, well, it's a new opportunity. I'm like, a new opportunity? I liked where I was. So I know that's a tough one, a tough pill to swallow. But if you trust the Almighty up above and the universe taking care of you, whatever your upper power is, you will believe that it will be okay. God has your back, and it's all going to work out. As I said in most of this is going to be hard, it's going to be turbulent, and you will recover. I thank everybody for listening if you made it to this end, because this was a pretty long video, but hopefully it helped you, gave you some insight. And of course, if you need to talk to me, you can always email me, send me a message online or something like that, and I will get back with you. You can leave a comment below too. If you were going through something and you want to leave a comment for somebody who is going through something and you've been through something, that would be awesome. No negative crap, please. We don't need any more right now, especially if you're recovering. All right, I'll see everybody on the next video. Thank you.